Yo, what's good? It's your homeboy T-Pain. Right now, at this very exact moment, you plugged in with Jay.
Plugged in with Jay right now. This is Jay O'Man.
Turn up.
My boy Jay Perry.
You're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
My boy, Jay the Plug.
You're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
You're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
You're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
Jay the Plug.
You got many winners from many moons. You're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
Get plugged up, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is good? Welcome to another episode of Plugged In with Jay. I, of course, am Jay the Plug, Jason, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. But my main focus is my guy right here on camera, recording artist, COLTx. How are you today, my guy?
I'm doing great, Jay. It's great to be here.
Man, happy to have you, buddy. I appreciate you coming on, man. I know we've been talking back and forth, and I first saw you when Pac-Man Jones popped up a video of probably my favorite song on your album, Summer Fling. Love that track, man. When I first heard it, it hit me, man. That's like a summer banger for real. Like, I love that song, man.
I appreciate that. That song's done so much for me. So much.
Dude, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to tell you that. I hope you hear it and keep making more music like it, man. That whole album is fire. But we'll get into that here in just a minute. Let's start from the beginning. So
right.
You're a musician coming out of Houston, Texas. You grew up in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
What part of Texas are you from, man?
So I actually split time between the border of like Spring in the Woodlands and down in Manville. So I went to, I pretty much grew up down over in the Spring Woodlands area until 8th grade, moved down to Manville and stayed there through my sophomore year of high school. They got some real ballers out there, man. And then moved back and finished school up in the Woodlands.
Okay. You're talking about ballers. You're big into sports as you're growing up. It's not just musical talent. You've got some skills on the gridiron. Am I right?
Huge. Played sports since I was about 3.
Yeah. Football been your main sport the whole time?
No, sir. I did football and baseball for all the way through high school.
Okay.
I tried out basketball. That didn't work out.
Really?
Did that for a couple of years, but I just didn't have the shot. So I stuck to the other two, and it did well for me.
Okay. So what main positions did you play in each sport? Like, you were baseball, football. What did you play in baseball?
In baseball, I was mainly catcher, pitcher, first base. And then, you know how baseball goes. You utility in every once in a while just to get some reps.
Yeah, I feel you. Were you a hitter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
My man, a humble man too. Just yup. Taking them yard, bro. How about football? What they have you playing in football in high school?
Well, I was actually a linebacker that's running back all my life until my sophomore year of high school. I was pumping 86 as a freshman with baseball.
Really?
On the mound, and our JV team at Manville didn't have a quarterback. So the baseball coach was one of the football coaches, and he's like, "Hey, come over here. Like, let's see if you can throw the football." And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I don't really want to do this. I think I might have a shot to make, the varsity squad as a linebacker." So I got up there and I threw a duck about 30 yards, like over the fence. We were doing like end zone plays. And he goes, "Well, I don't know why you did that. Now you got to stay." And after that, I fell in love with it and ended up playing quarterback pretty much the rest of my career.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So growing up, we'll get back into the football too, because I know you balled out in college as well. But what was it like growing up? What was childhood for COLTx like?
It was amazing. I had an amazing childhood. I grew up in a very loving family. Had both parents around. Got 2 loving younger brothers, and we got that real like kind of Southern type family connection. So yeah. We're all close and do, family gatherings, and even through adversity, it makes it a little bit easier because you always know that you got a little love coming from every direction.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent, man. Yeah, I love hearing that. How long have your parents been together, if you don't mind me asking?
Since, oh boy, they just had their anniversary last month.
At least you know what it was.
I want to say since like 88, 89,
okay,
somewhere in that range.
So close to about 40 years.
closing in on
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. From 80?
88?
2022?
99. Yeah.
Up there, double digits.
All right, we'll go with that. I'm sorry, Mom. You see this.
Good, man. Anytime I talk to my parents, bro, no lie, I'm like, y'all been married for like 50 years. My mom's like, not quite, about 40 now. And I'm like, well, close enough.
Someday you're gonna be right, man.
Yeah, I know.
Someday you'll be right.
Someday I'll hit that number. I just got to keep guessing the right one. It's like the lotto. So being in music, obviously very musically inclined, did you grow up in a musical family?
Not necessarily. Neither one of my parents are, at least that I know of, very musical. My dad and his best friend grew up, like rating rock bands. Like that was their thing. They would listen to new and upcoming rock bands on the radio and, try and pick out who was going to be next. But on my dad's side, his brother and his sister are both super musical. His sister can sing her ass off, and his brother is like just jack of all trades musician. He can play piano, plays trombone, all that fun stuff. Like he's the guy playing piano with Carolyn and all that stuff. It's cool.
I know obviously you can sing and you can spit. Do you have any, like I see, what is that, a guitar back there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you pick it a little bit? Not right now, but I mean, are you a pretty decent guitar player?
I had it down for a little bit, and then I kind of got stuck on bar chords, so I need to revisit the guitar. Right now it's really there for motivation. Someday I gotta pick it back up.
That's cool. As long as it's right there, it's easy to grab. So
exactly.
any other instruments you rock, or just the guitar?
Well, I also play trombone and play piano just a little bit.
Man, trombone. Did you pick that up in high school?
We started in 5th grade.
What's up?
5th grade when you, all right, whatchamacallit? Our school system goes like K through 4th, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, and then 9th through 12th.
Okay.
And then so 5th and 6th is intermediate, and that's where you have to go into either art, orchestra, or band. And I wanted to play trumpet. They told me my lists were too big, so I had to play trombone, and ended up playing that for like 6 years. Ended up making the regional band, and then called it quits because I wanted to focus on sports.
Okay. Now, hold on. They told you can't play the trumpet because your lips are too big?
Yeah. They said
Bro.
that.
How do they feel like they can get away with that? Like, okay, so your lips are too big to play trumpet. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the Cheats, but one of the best trumpet players ever has the craziest mouth I've ever seen. Man, of course, Louis Armstrong. I mean, come on.
The GOAT.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's from my neck of the woods, baby. It's New Orleans, man. But like, for real, how are they going to tell you what was your reaction when they said, no, man, your lips are too big to play trumpet?
I wanted to play percussion after that, but I came to find out later that everybody wanted to play trumpet. So they were trying to like
weed out,
section people off to different areas of the band to fill it out.
Okay.
And I must have been late that day, and they're like, it's too full. You got to play this one. But I'm happy they did.
Okay. So you said now you wanted to play percussion, but you played the trombone.
Yes.
Did they tell you your fingers were too big for fucking playing the drums? What kept you from that? Just a bunch of people wanted to play drums too?
No, my uncle had played trombone, and he showed me how to play Scooby Dooby Doo. I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool. I could do that. So I went with the trombone.
All right. My dad to this day says that he played the saxophone, still could play the saxophone. And he says that the reason they got him in it is because of Pink Panther. So y'all have something similar. Y'all you can play one of those old Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
That's good stuff, man.
I love it. I love it. So with the album, it's one of my favorite that I've got, like that I've got on my playlist, Limitless Range. When I listen to it, there are different kinds of music that I can pick up on, because I like to think that I have an ear for music. I love music. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I pick up on, hip hop. I pick up on, some R&B, some different sounds in there. What kind of music would you say that you create? Is there a specific genre that you like to kind of sink yourself in with?
I would not say that there's any necessarily like specific genre. I like to try and think as open as possible because I had like a strange upbringing when it comes to music. Like I was raised on hair bands and, you know, alternative 2000s and listening to pop, you know, radio with my mom.
Yeah.
And then playing sports. I was always listening to hip hop and, you know, like, let's go.
Right.
Then I started falling in love with women. And they like R&B. So I started learning about all that. And next thing I knew, I was so confused. I was like, man, I just kind of want to do all of it. And I had started like writing songs on my shower door when I was like 8 years old.
Oh, for real? That's dope.
I guess it wouldn't be a song though. I guess that'd be like poetry at that point, right? There's no music behind it. But trying to think, like Limitless Range is just pretty much everything I've been through getting to the point of that release. So it's like the whole concept for it was, you know, I have limitless range. There's no genre defying anything that can hold me down. I might sing, I might rap, I might sing you some opera. It doesn't matter. This is what I'm trying to come into the industry with.
Did I miss the opera track on there, bro?
I still got to work on that one.
That's what's up. Breaking news here: COLTx going in the opera game.
Oh boy, what did I have done?
Now, you were big into sports. Not, I wouldn't say before you got into music, but before you became COLTx, big into sports. I know you went to college as an athlete with University of Marion, North Dakota.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Okay. Whenever you got picked up there, that was my biggest question, because whenever I looked it up, you're listed as a tight end. So what did they recruit you as a tight end?
No, I had quite the college experience, to say the least. I was the first recruiting class of the head coach that got brought in the same year that I graduated in 2014. And I went up there as the only quarterback in my class.
Okay.
And after that year, I had some guys in front of me, you know, that had been there for a little bit and we were good. Shout out to those guys. And they're like, you know, we think that you might be able to help us out on the field. So you're not the redshirt year, but you know, the redshirt freshman year. Like, we want you to come out here and get some reps as like a tight end. That's like slot receiver. Okay, that's cool. And did that for that year. And in the next year, our coach switched to triple option, which is what I ran in high school. And they're like, you know, we're going to bring you back over to quarterback. And I was there from that season until my senior season when we had another head coach change.
Okay.
And he ditched the veer and went back to like a spread offense.
Okay.
And he had brought in one of his recruits, who's one of my best friends, Jordan. And he's like, you know, this guy already knows the system. You can try and compete with that, or you can try and help us win, or we can try and win. And, you know, end your career on a high note at the university. And so that's what I ended up doing. And that's why you see tight end listed, because I was like a tight end - wildcat quarterback my senior year.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was telling you about the way I described the way that they played you was a Bugs Bunny role. Basically every position on the field you played, it seems. You did have a hell of a finish to your career in college, from what I read. Tell us about that game, man. Like, if I'm reading the correct game, like I've even got it pulled up right here. Like, you went ham.
Yeah, let me set the scene for you. We're in Minnesota, Crookston. It is 20-something degrees outside. It's been snowing for like the last week, and they're the only field left in the conference that hasn't gone up to turf. So it was a grass field that was hard as a rock with snow on it. So right before the game, they plowed it, but all they really did was get rid of the fluff on top. It ended up being icy, and like literally like a hockey rink. One of the dads went and bought all the receivers like hiking shoes. because the cleats were too slick.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, obviously in a game like that, you watch all the NFL games. Like, you remember LaShawn McCoy,
Oh yeah.
the GOAT of running back in the snow?
Yeah, when he was with the Bills. Oh my God, man.
All of that. That was pretty much the attack plan was, you know, let's see who can run the ball down the other person's throat better. And I'm a bigger guy. So I was like, let's do this. And it was my last game. And I already knew that. So I was ready to give it all. And I ended up having a day, like, I think it ended up being like 175 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
Off of how many carries?
I don't even remember.
What would it say? It's like 157 yards, 31 carries, and 2 touchdowns. Bro, that's those league numbers, bro. Like that's especially with what you had to work with, dude. That's hats off, man. This staying on because I didn't check over. You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you. It was a special day. Like it couldn't have. Like I don't think I would have been happy if it would have ended any other way. And I'm at peace with that.
Man, that's a storybook ending right there. That's awesome. I'm gonna try and see if I can find some clips from it, some highlights. I'm sure there's something out there, dude. I'm sure I'll have my wife get on it, man. Women are like PIs when it comes to finding shit. So I'll get on top of that real quick. Do you have any other memories? I mean, that's probably one of the best memories you could have in college. But do you have any other cool memories in college that you can talk about?
That I can talk about? Yeah. So I went to like my university I went to was smaller than my high school. And
Really?
it also was, you know, going from a major city to a place where, you know, the city of Houston's got like 8 million people. The state of North Dakota has like 900,000. So it was a major change. And it almost felt like kind of doing high school over again. But the reason that I actually ended up staying up there all those years is just because of the relationships that I built. Like I went to the business school, and one of my requirements for going to that school was that I'd be able to, you know, do like music business, which was a degree that they didn't offer. And a man named Carl Sovek, who I love to death, he helped me set that up, and so did a lady named Katie. She was supposed to be my freshman advisor, and I ended up keeping her through all 5 years. The two of them, and pretty much all the staff and the friends and the people. That's all that's coming to mind right now. Like nothing over the top, just it's always good to be surrounded by great people that love you, you know?
Yeah, obviously, for sure. Definitely help give that push to be the best you possibly can be. That's what the whole point of college is for. So yeah, that's awesome. Grew up in Texas, left for school in North Dakota, back to Houston, now ATL, Dirty South. What brought you here?
Dirty South. So
What's crazy is you're when people say Dirty South, Texas is more southern, there's more south than Atlanta. I guess it's just dirty here. So,
right. No, they call Texas West.
That's that. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, why do you do that? Texas is like we're the South.
It's dead center.
Whatever. We'll let them argue about that.
What got you to the ATL, man?
So this is probably one of my favorite stories to tell, just because it is. It really was like a movie experience for me. So I left a semester early before I graduated after my last season to go home and help out my folks with some financial stuff. And I wasn't really doing a whole lot except for making music, because my last 2 years of college, I started making some music, and I wasn't really putting anything out, but I wanted to, you know, start working on the craft because I'd always had the love for it. And so every day, one of my best homies, Justin, he would go to work in the mornings and let me go to his apartment and record. And I would do that for like the next 6 months, 7 months. Every day I was over there holding it down while he was at work, and I'd go to work in the evening. And one day, the person who actually, man, I'm sorry, I should have said this earlier. The first person I ever recorded with, his name is Jonathan. And that was like the day that I decided, you know, like, I love this. And I was like 16 at the time. So we kept that relationship. And when I moved back, he happened to also be back in town from college. And He was going through some family things, and I had scooped him up and taken him over to his stepmom's house. And while he was in the other room handling his business, I was sitting there talking to his stepmom. She's like, "I heard you've been doing music, Cole." I was like, yeah, real shy, because I don't want her to really listen to it, because I'm talking about some vulgar things. She seen me grow up. I don't really want her to hear it, but like, yeah, I've been doing some music. She's like, "Well, play me something." And I was like,
No.
kind of dodged it. Ended up dodging it like 2 more times until my buddy Jonathan came out of the room. I'm like, "Hey, bro, listen, what should I play?" He goes, "Summer Fling." I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, that's a banger, bro." I was like, "All right, let's do it." So I played it to her, and she got up like from the kitchen table and went and sat down on the couch. And I see her going like this. And then she listens, and she goes, "This is good." I was like, "Thank you." Like, not knowing if she's being nice and not like, "Thank you." She's like, "I got this, I got a godchild out in LA who's got some music connections. So let me just send that out to there and see if anybody's interested." I was like, "Sure, that's cool." Later on that evening at like 1 o'clock in the morning, she's calling me, and she's like, "What? What's up? It's 1 o'clock in the morning." She's like, "I think somebody was like really interested in it. They want to talk to you." And that ended up being my now manager, Chris. And so that was the day that I got linked up with Chris, and that was August of 2019. Yeah, August of 2019. And we ended up talking. He got me in touch with Ricky Rax, super producer, awesome man, one of the most humble dudes I ever met. And I started working on, recording and saving up money. The plan was to move out here to Atlanta. It took me about 4 months to save up as much as I thought I needed, and ended up moving out here in 2020 of April. And that's kind of all she wrote. Like, I haven't left.
And the rest is, we call it, is history. That's what's up, man. Now, so you were saying that you fell in love with music before. I meant to ask you this question as well. When you were in college, you weren't really able to put as much into the music as you wanted to, could you? Because weren't there rules against it?
Yeah, the NCAA pretty much had a ban on anything that could pay you for your likeness. And so they considered music a part of that. So I couldn't go out and do a show and people, pay to come see me, and it's not for the music, it's because I'm playing sport. And so the first couple years, I didn't have like the setup I wanted, like being in the dorm room, but we were required to live on there for 2 years. And as soon as I got my own spot, I started getting into it a little bit. And 2017 Christmas, I got like a Focusrite interface and like a better mic. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this right now. And I made my own beat, made a song. I called it "Woke Up," and I actually did put that one out, and it had like, I don't know, like 6,000 streams. But everybody, like, there are kids at school coming up to the party and like singing it to me. I'm like, oh, this is lit. After that, I started. What's up?
I bet that's a good feeling, man.
I didn't know how to react. I was like, wait, you know what I said? Like, that's cool. And after that, I was like 2018. So like I had about 2 seasons left at that point. Mm-hmm. So I started recording, like working on music whenever I could, pretty much. Yeah. They've
changed those rules since, man. Now you can get paid for your likeness, but you notice there's not a whole lot of stuff coming out for these athletes. They used to be on everything, and now all of a sudden it's an ass grinding halt, bro. It's crazy. It's like they're trying to take anything away that they can. I'm totally for athletes getting paid. If they're using their likeness to make money, that's some bullshit if they don't pay them. Right. Now you talk about, you got some of you got the connection with the music. There is a very good friend of yours that I've noticed that just blew my mind. This is one of the ways I actually first heard about you. Adam Pac-Man Jones, NFL All-Pro cornerback. Seems like probably one of the nicest guys I've really talked to. What cultivated that friendship? How did that pop up?
So first of all, you're right. He is like one of the most kind people I've ever met. It's been nothing but love since I met him, and he is actually my manager's like best friend. They went to, they've been together since West Virginia, and this will be a fun story. But so when I first came out here, I kind of had an idea, but I didn't know what Atlanta was like, right? So Pac is the one, like Chris and Pac are the ones that took me out first, like around the city.
Okay.
And first place I got to go to was Magic City.
Okay.
Like, oh, this is crazy. Like, let's go. And actually had my first song ever dropped in a club in Magic City.
Yeah.
Sugar and Spice. I would honestly say that me becoming comfortable like with the city of Atlanta is largely thanks to him taking me under his wing and showing me, you know, kind of the ins and outs of where to go, where you don't go, how to handle yourself, how to not get your money stolen, everything, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and but that's all because like that's he and my manager are brothers, and it's all family. It's all love. I love him, his family, his kids, all of them. They're great.
I love it, man. I love hearing that, man. For some reason, he got a bad rap when he was in the NFL, man. He played football. The man played, man. Shit. But it seems like an incredibly nice person, man. I've talked to him a couple times on Instagram. Hopefully get him on here eventually. But yeah, real nice guy. That's how I first heard of you. He sent me a link, and then I heard it immediately. I just started vibing with you. And that's when I started putting everything about you on the stories and stuff. Because man, I mean, when I hear good music, I want to share it. So yeah, that's dope.
That's love. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Who are your influences? I know that's kind of a hard question to answer. I always ask my artist guests. I always ask them who the influences are, and another question that will kind of tie into that one when you're done answering this one.
All right. Let's see. My influences. It would probably be best to go like chronological because I kind of had different influences at different points in time.
That's great. Okay. First time I heard that.
So my first big influence was Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Okay.
His lyricism was insane. I didn't actually start really listening to hip hop like a ton until maybe like 7th grade. I wasn't supposed to be listening to music with curse words.
Dude, do me either, bro. My mom would break my CDs if she found them. I'm telling you.
Thanks.
Back then, whenever you'd have the disc, you'd open it up and you have the booklet and you see the lyrics. Remember those back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd find those and curtains. Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, sorry.
Yes, seriously. I'd have to go to Hastings to go buy a whole new disc. It's a pain in the head. But yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
I would say he was like my first huge influence.
Okay.
Just because of how different he was and his lyricism. Like,
Yeah.
I was on in by his lyricism. And then after that, it was like I actually knew him as more of a duo first, even though they weren't ever in like an official group. Eminem and 50 Cent.
Okay.
And I knew that because I was at, and I hope this doesn't make me a bad person for sharing this. I was at church one day, and they put up the poster when they were on tour together of the two of them back to back in wife beaters with a big old chain on. And
Yeah.
the whole message of the sermon was that, you know, why you got to be like this to like say that you made it or say that you're doing good. And I was looking at them like, man, these guys are awesome. I think that the person delivering it had to, like, just had the idea confused what he was trying to get across. And
Yeah.
after that, it was like, man, this is like those, I just love these guys. And then so obviously after Lil Wayne, I fell in love with Young Money, which led me to Cash Money. So all those artists, that's where Drake and Nicki and all them were.
Mhm.
And then Kendrick, J. Cole. Then there was like I like The Weeknd, like a dude that I think is actually signed to Drake called DVS and a Division. Like,
Okay.
real melodic singer guy. Like Man, it's tough. There's so many good artists out there.
You probably, yeah, that's one of the hardest questions to answer by any of the artists I've had on the show, because there's so many. I mean, you can be influenced by the smallest thing. So I know it, but yeah, you're big on lyricists, which I'm the same way. I love lyricists, man. Like Joyner Lucas, Eminem, of course, 50, Freddie Gibbs. But I'm a big fan. Like, you've heard of NF?
Yeah.
That dude is crazy. Like, he's crazy. Hobson, all those dudes. Like, I'm the same way. Huh? Hobson's cold.
Crazy.
He's so dope, man. Tech Nine. Anyway, this isn't my interview. My bad.
No, you're good. I agree with all that. And then I gotta say, like, influence of today, like, the people out here, like Thug, like his whole group, all the YSL, like they got their whole thing going. They really, man, Wheezy Wave, the producer, introduced such a bounce with him and Turbo, and golly, like Metro, all of them, like they really changed the game for like how music is sounding right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a ton of respect for them. And that's probably it. Because once I started really like diving into my own artistry, I tried to like branch away from listening to everybody so that I wouldn't end up biting.
Right.
Which, you know, it has its perks, both sides. Like you don't really get to hear anything new if you don't listen, and at the same time, you might end up sounding like them if you do hear it.
Right.
So I try and stay to myself.
Right. Yeah, I noticed whenever like mumble rap and whatever. I mean, some of it's good. I guess that's my own thing, but everybody started sounding the exact same for a little while there, and then it finally seemed to have calmed down. But yeah, that's one thing I like about you too, is I can actually understand what you're saying, so we appreciate that. So what all do we have to look forward coming from COLTx? What you got coming up?
I have a lot coming up. I really am sitting on at least 2 projects right now.
Okay.
I've linked with some amazing producers out here. I got Lil Day. I think he goes by Day the One. He's still in high school. He's so good, man. Dude, Nick Mack in from Boston. Bam Bam, who's I met him through Ricky Rex, through Audio Cartel. 48, Jamie, and my homie from Houston, Brandon Alfred, who you'll see credited as Bando on all the previous releases. He just hit me up the other day and he's like, you know, I'm going by Brandon Alfred now. Really, if I'm missing somebody, I'm gonna feel bad, but I've been really linked up with them, and we formed a bond, and I've been really trying to create like a new sound, like trying to find what's next instead of opposed to, you know, let's hop on what's going on now.
Right.
So I've got some hard stuff that could be played in the club.
Okay.
You know, some rah-rah, like let's go knock somebody's heads off on the field type shit, right?
Yeah.
And also been diving into like, I don't want to call it pop because it's got a little more bounce to it and a little bit more than just, you know, the stereotypical pop, but it's
I like, dude.
We'll call it a pop R&B alternative blend. That's what
okay. All that. That's what's up. Do you have any shows or anything coming up?
Not necessarily lined up yet. I've been really focusing on like this next project, and like being independent, there's a lot that goes into it that I have to take care of. My team is me and my manager and my boy Phil now. And you know, you got to go out around to all the clubs in the city. You got to be cool with the DJs because they really are the gatekeepers. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
Like, DJs got it all going on. And so I've been going out to clubs a lot and linking with them, understanding their vibe, seeing what they're playing, and saving up for what's next, really. Saving up for next project.
That's what's up. Is there
no shows yet?
Being independent, that's something I just thought of this. Like being an independent artist, Like there are a lot out there that like NF was independent, Joyner Lucas is independent. You know, I've always heard about how different, how freeing it is to be an independent artist because you can basically do what you decide you want to do. But what would you say is the best part of being an independent artist? Is just basically the freedom to come and go and do what you want? Or because what you were saying is that you got to take care of some people, which totally makes sense. You got to take care of your crew. That's number one. That's family.
Yes,
So
sir.
what makes it, and I don't know if you want to stay independent. I'm not sure. Some guys like to, some people are totally down with being signed to a label, depending on the contract and the way that they've got everything done. What makes it, as far as you're concerned, a better look being an independent artist?
Versatility. So I can wake up every day and I could drop a song right now. While we're doing this right here, I could drop a song.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Man, being able to work with other people is a lot easier because there's not a lot of loops that you got to go through. You don't have to talk to him to get to you. Like people, I can talk to them directly. They can talk to me directly. When a label's involved, there's, typically they're taking more out of the pie. So you're able to do things for less that give you more. Pretty much just, yes, versatility and freedom. That's it.
Yeah. Would you say it opens more doors for you being an independent artist? Like if you went to go speak with somebody who's, like if you were going to speak to Lil Wayne or something to do a collab or something, do you think that opens more doors to you to be able to speak to him because you don't have to worry? He doesn't have to think about all these other people in your crew that are going to just, you know what I mean? Like pick at the carcass, so to speak.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it has like everything is ups and downs. It would make it easier to speak with him just because he would know that there would be like no bullshit going on.
That's what I
never
mean.
know
Yeah,
what's
exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, if you are assigned to a label, your label might be the one to introduce you. But
Sure.
I have Chris and Pac and all these amazing people that I'm surrounded by, where I've been blessed and I get to meet some people without being signed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being independent, I could imagine being able to get up, do whatever you need to do. And also if I was a bigger name, I would love to be able to deal with an independent artist, because then I wouldn't have to worry about all this different stuff happening behind the scenes and somebody trying to get into your ear and reevaluate certain things and try and do something else. And I can imagine that might be a little bit easier for some of the labels to talk to. Have you been reached out to by any labels? Have they been pounding on your door trying to get you signed up?
Nah, and if they have, I haven't been listening. Like right now, I'm staying grounded. I'm in the
Right.
process of laying my foundation, and I could probably add this to the last one. When you're independent and you approach somebody, it's like, let's make money together.
Yeah.
Not just not let's make everybody else money. Like let's make us some money.
Right. Chris probably keeping them away from you, man. These labels coming in, he's doing a good job. He's like, man, back up. But man, Colt, man, I can't thank you enough for being on the show, man. That's all I've got, brother. You got anything else coming up? Any foundations, charities, anything that you got your hand in, anything like that yet?
No, not necessarily. I would just say the only thing really going on right now is preparing for this next project, which I'm going to drop before summer. Getting some videos done, some music videos, get some more of those out there, and pushing it. As Gunna and all them are saying, we pushing P. So that's how we rolling.
I love it, man. I love it. So everybody, I typed all this out, so I'm going to be reading something. Everybody go stream, download, any way that you possibly can. Listen to this banger of an album, Limitless Range, featuring some of my favorites, Glass Breaks, Guantanamo Bay, my personal favorite, Summer Fling. That is the best track to whenever it's just on a nice day, roll the windows down and just cruise. And that's probably you put that bitch on repeat. I'm not even gonna lie. It's one of those albums that you can listen to from beginning to end without skipping a track, seriously. However, once you hear one, you'll probably want to hear it again, so you'll press that back button, but it is what it is. Go stream my guy's music. Go download everything by COLTx. Colt, man, thank you so much for being on the show, buddy. I can't wait to have you on again. Can't wait.
Hey, me either. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, my man. You have a good day. All right, partner?
All right, you too.
All right, man.